All right, we're here with Willy Wonka.eth.
What's up, Brad?
We're here at ETHBoulder. Got some great sunshine here with the mountains right there. And Willy, what brings you to ETHBoulder?
Well, I love Ethereum, and also Boulder has a special place in my heart. I went to school here back in 2010 through 2013. Dropped out to do my first startup. I went there for 3.5 years. And so it's great to be back here. I always come to ETH Denver. Been coming since 2019.
And where do you live?
I live in Austin now. So lived in Colorado for like 10 of the past 13 years. Moved back to my hometown of Austin, but still every year we make sure to drive up for ETH Denver. And so when I heard that they were doing ETH Boulder, got really excited. Also got invited to help kind of produce this a little bit from the creativity track. So one of the cool things about ETH Boulder is that it's kind of an unconference and it's very community driven from the bottom up. So this afternoon, we're going to be doing a tie-dye swag happy hour. That was my contribution. And so, that kind of got me involved. And I just gave a talk this morning presenting what we've been building ourselves for the past couple of years.
And okay, so you're kind of between situations here. You've been working on Nouns DAO, right? And the recently launched Blank.space.
Right.
But you also have just taken on a job as head of product for Venice.ai. Is that correct?
That's right. It's an exciting week. We've been building this platform for a couple of years. It started as a platform for the Nouns community, and just this past couple of weeks, we launched Blank.space, which is a launch pad where any community can launch their own version of this platform. It's like the hub and the homepage for that community. And it's interesting because right as we're launching this and rolling this out and presenting it on stage at ETHBoulder, I had an amazing opportunity to join Venice as head of product. And I've worked with Eric, the founder of Venice, for many years.
Eric Voorhees.
Eric Voorhees, that's right. At Shapeshift. And so it was an honor to join him and the team again to work on Venice, which if you guys aren't familiar with, it's like ChatGPT. It gives you access, not only anonymized access to OpenAI and Anthropic models, but fully private access to open source models, including models that are trained to be uncensored. So really awesome mission at the intersection of crypto and AI, and just was an awesome opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And my co-founder also had an awesome opportunity materialize the same weekend. So we both accepted those. We're going to keep working on Blank.space on the side. It works well and is a powerful, customizable platform that is open source, so the community itself can improve it. But we are looking at different options to fund some of the other team members to continue working on it full time.
Here at this conference, I started yesterday and continuing today. It does seem AI is just such a huge part of almost every session, every conversation. And obviously you're kind of in between these, and we're talking about Ethereum. Love to hear your thoughts on just like, what is this moment we're in, and where do you think this is all going?
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be alive. It feels like every day there's a huge new breakthrough in the AI space. I think everyone, whether you're building in crypto or building any kind of software, you kind of have to be embracing AI and either integrating it into your product or using it to change the way that you build the software itself. It's also a really exciting time for Web3 because there's a lot of use cases for these AI agents to be able to leverage the tools that we've been building for years. It's an exciting time for sure. And just these past couple of weeks especially, it seems like we're kind of going exponential. So very excited to see how things continue to transform this year. Uncertain what the future looks like, but I'm here for it, and it's a very exciting time to be a builder, that's for sure.
Well, it seems like a lot of people are talking about AI not only making it easier for the users to use crypto, but also for the developers to build too, right? What's your experience with that?
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about this right before. And hackathons, I've gone to a couple hackathons this past year, and just what you can build in a weekend has completely transformed and multiplied this past year. And similarly, we were just talking about a recent hackathon in Mexico that was Ethereum focused, and the majority of the builders there, it was their first time building anything in Web3. And that's awesome because, as many of you guys know, there's a steep learning curve with crypto. It takes a while to dive down the rabbit hole and really understand it and build stuff on top of it. But now, all you have to have is an idea, and the agents are very familiar with how to build on chain. And the tooling this past year for building on chain has also improved substantially. It's a great time to be a builder. And even if you don't know much about Web3, you don't have to. You don't even have to know how to be a developer now. All you need is an idea, and you can build something in an afternoon.
What about ETHBoulder? What do you make of this particular conference? What is the kind of essence of this conference? What is the message you think of the conference? And do you have or any particular themes of the people who are here?
Yeah, so ETHBoulder, I know, is considering itself somewhat of an unconference. And for those that aren't familiar with an unconference, it can be very much more like community-driven side events. Instead of the conference trying to organize everything, it relies on all the attendees to bring their own sweet sauce, which I personally really love, especially in a community like this where everybody is building something really cool and interesting. It's awesome. And not only are there builders, but there's also artists and creators. Then a conference like this brings them all together and enables us to actually share what we're working on. So ETHBoulder, I think, is awesome. Not only is the city amazing, but it's a smaller conference, so it's going to give more opportunity for these intimate conversations. You can actually not just like meet a bunch of people, but actually get to know them and share what you're working on, learn about what they're working on. ETHDenver, I love ETHDenver as well, and I've been going there for many years, but it's gotten really big, which is in some ways good. And one of the things I love about ETHDenver is that it is a free conference. And so in order for them to do that, they have to get sponsors. And in the past, I know there's been some frustration because the sponsors aren't always Ethereum aligned. In fact, sometimes they're like Ethereum killers is their mission, basically. And I think that was some of the original inspiration for ETHBoulder, was to have a conference that really is Ethereum aligned and that doesn't have to make these sacrifices to fund itself, basically. So yeah, I've been having a great time so far. As I mentioned, we're going to do a tie-dye swag happy hour in a beautiful park outdoors here in Boulder. And so, as you can see, it's a lot of like the Boulder vibes too, which is a little bit different than Denver. There's a lot fewer people here from like Wall Street, but lots of core Ethereum builders, lots of community builders, and lots of creators and artists and stuff. So there's going to be robot fighting, and there's going to be some like interpretive dance and stuff. All sorts of cool events happening this weekend.
Last question. Ethereum, it seems to be at a little bit of a crossroads, or there's a lot of discussion about what is that roadmap for Ethereum. And I'm curious, what's your perception of this moment for Ethereum, and where do you see Ethereum community going?
Yeah, I'm obviously a big Ethereum fan, but I've never been a maximalist. Like, I'm very open to whichever decentralized network can bring the masses on chain, and do that in a way that is decentralized and unstoppable. And I think that Ethereum by far has done the best job of that so far and have really stuck to its values, which is important. And so right now what's interesting is that we're starting to see actually some of the masses and really Wall Street actually come on chain. And they have a different set of values and goals, but Ethereum is a neutral settlement layer and everyone's welcome. So yeah, I think that Ethereum right now has done a really great job scaling with the L2 roadmap. I think that is working really well. I think it's great to see, communities like Base basically really like helping to accelerate Ethereum scaling and also building a bunch of great tooling and supporting an ecosystem of developers. So I love to see that. Like, for our project, Base has been like very supportive basically and given us support, much more support than we've gotten just from Ethereum. For Nouns.space,
okay.
Blank.space, yeah, they've been awesome. And so I love to see that. I think it's great that we have some competition now and some teams that can build and accelerate and experiment on top of Ethereum. I do think that also creates a lot of challenges, but I know that really smart people are working to solve like interoperability and stuff, so that bridging between these L2s does feel seamless. I think that's important. But yeah, I think that Ethereum, I'm bullish on Ethereum, and I think that even though the fundamentals are stronger than ever and the price hasn't really reflected that yet, that's why I love coming to these conferences, because you meet so many amazing builders that are building cool shit. And like, I have no idea that, well, not everything is going to work out. Like, some of these people are going to change the world and already have. So yeah, it's my favorite community to be a part of.
All right.
Yeah.
Willy, thank you so much for being here with us today.
My pleasure, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.